Hey guys, welcome back to Ultimate S&S. Hope everyone is having a great day. So today we're going to be talking about what it is you need to be prepping back. So we talk a lot and we show a lot of these different types of products we get between the canned vegetables, the canned fruits, even canned beans and stuff like that. What I'm going to start doing is I'm shifting on my preps to more of dry goods, which is going to be your dry beans and stuff. And the reason I'm doing that is in a cup of dry beans, you're going to get a lot more nutrients out of that than you would say a piece of chicken or something like that. It's amazing how much stuff is actually in your beans sources. So when we're looking at beans, we're looking at stuff such as your black beans, your pinto beans, navy beans, you name it, it's up there. It's what they're calling a superfood. If you're a diabetic, it would not hurt to go ahead and start adding a cup of that to your diet at least 3 times a week. Now we try to add that to almost a daily out here, and one of the things we're noticing is LDLs are dropping, A1Cs are becoming more balanced and stuff. So definitely be adding that into your dietary needs. What we use for seasoning, I just use Cajun seasoning. I like the spice to it. You can make that as strong or as light as you like it, but it's up to you how you want to flavor that stuff up. I would recommend using that over, say, salts. The reason for that is sodium has a tendency to, if you already have high blood pressure, to make that increase some more. So, but that's going to be up to you to decide what it is you need. But when you're looking at different types of preps, you need to be looking at a variety of stuff. If you just go out and buy just pinto beans, you're eventually going to get burnt out on it. So look at different types of beans. Now we do 15 bean. We also do pintos, black eyed peas, black beans, navy beans, different types of stuff. There's a lot of different sources out there. But the reason we're doing that is, one, it's going to cut way back on your grocery bill. You're going to get a better quality food than a lot of this boxed garbage that you buy at the store nowadays. But one of the main things that I think is important is make sure that you keep it in a very dry, cool area, and preferably out of the sunlight. It's going to keep a lot longer. Now, you can leave that in the original package as long as it stays in a dry area, or you can take and do like what we do, which is to open it up, vacuum seal it, and we usually throw an O2 absorber in there too, just to help it out. But as long as you're keeping that stuff in a dry climate area, it's going to last you a very long time. Now, I wouldn't say it's going to last, a decade, by no means, but it is a good source to have. And when it comes to canned goods, the way I look at a canned good is that is a last resort if I have to get in those canned goods. If you're not able to get your fruits and vegetables and stuff like that during the winter time, that's a good option to keep those. That way they're going to keep a little longer. But as long as it's good weather and you actually have plenty of source of fresh beans coming in, you can plant them, and you don't have to go out and buy, a package of little beans that's going to give you 10 or 15. You can just go to the store, buy your package of beans, sprout that stuff in your house, stick it in the garden, and you're going to save a lot of money because you're going to have plenty of stuff left to eat. Plus, you're going to be able to grow it as well. So that's my recommendation to you. As you've noticed, we've got the chickens playing over here in the background for everybody. I know everyone enjoys the chickens a lot. I know I enjoy to go out and check them out. Now, my rooster, he's getting kind of, he's getting a little more protective of the flock and stuff, mainly because there's some cats that have been coming out here. I've not lost any birds, and they don't get too close to him because mainly he runs them out. But it kind of keeps them, nerved up a little bit. Plus, this weather shift that we're seeing with the winds that's coming in, I think this is the first time they've experienced those high winds in this area that we get. Anytime there's hurricanes or tropical storms moving up around the Gulf. But I really just wanted everybody to just kind of take a moment, figure out what it is that you need, and give one more health benefit. One of the things I think is great is if you're diabetic, you're not getting a lot of those bad sugars if you're eating those superfoods. We're talking broccoli and stuff as well. If you have heart disease or artery disease, it actually helps you stabilize that condition. So it's not going to remove the plaque in the arteries from what I've been researching online, but what it does is it stabilizes, and it does help open the artery up some as well. So that's going to be a good benefit for you. For those of you who have elderly parents staying at home with you, or whatever the case may be, make sure that you're setting food back that they can eat. Because if you got a diabetic and all you've got is a lot of pastas, then what's going to happen is you're going to end up making their A1Cs go up. You're going to cause a lot of damage over time, especially in the SHTF scenario where they can't be getting to doctors and stuff. So you need to be mindful of not just your medical care, you need to be mindful of those that are going to be in your care as well. But I'm going to hop off here, guys. Again, make sure that you're stocking up, getting what foods you can. I know it's getting harder out there to find the foods that you want. It's also getting a lot harder to find these dry beans here lately because more people are stocking up on it. More people are stocking up on your flours and your basic scratch type materials and stuff as well. But something that you might want to look at is maybe growing some stuff if you got a yard, growing your own wheat and things like that, because before you actually mill a lot of that stuff down, especially mill it, keeping it in seed form, it's going to keep a lot longer. It's going to help have a natural shell to keep bugs from getting into it as well. So I would recommend, if you're doing that kind of stuff, then yeah, set that back, have a milling station set back, whether it's a hand mill, mortar, pestle type deal, or even one of these fancy electronic ones that you can use. You're going to want to have a source to be able to mill that down so you can make your breads and stuff as well in the future, because while bread is important, it's not as important as people like to think. I know growing up, we've seen that food pyramid, and if it had the food pyramid on the package, that meant it was good to eat, and everyone was just buying everything because it had the food pyramid. But no one ever actually took the time to look at it. They had pastas and breads as the main staple on that food pyramid as the base of it, and then you build everything up from the top there. But that's not even true. They're coming out, that thing is so outdated. Most doctors saying you need to get away from that. Yes, you should have carbohydrates in your system, but if you have what they call complex carbohydrates and then you have simple carbohydrates, some turn into sugars quicker, some don't turn into a sugar that's going to hurt you, and that's where your beans come. And I don't know if you've ever tried what they call bean flour, which is where you take beans and you actually grind that into a flour. I've never had any bread from it. I've had potato bread and things like that, though. So it's something I'm thinking about trying in the future. They say you can make it with whether it's leavened or unleavened. And what that means is whether you're using yeast or not using yeast. So something to think about. Now, you will need additional flour to add to that. It's not just ground up beans, guys. But I hope everyone's having a wonderful day. We're getting off here.